just doesn't make sense.
What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be focusing on our twin turbo Chevelle project. Everybody's been asking where it's at, what's been going on with it. Well, I'm here to fill you in. Last time you saw it on the channel, we've got past the large milestone of getting this thing started for the first time. And after we got it fired up for the first time, we received our custom drive shaft from Knoxville Drivelines and got it installed and got it ready to get out to the tuner.
All right, guys, we have made our journey south to Hialeah to Tuner Tech.
All right, there's Andy.
Come on, man. Let's pump it up. All right. Okay. Oh wow, this is really clean.
The car's already running.
But everything is connected for me.
Yes.
On the engine side, it's pretty much well advanced. What we will proceed to do is make sure that timing is correct, and then we're gonna do some mapping for it. It's great. So we have the Motec dash.
Yep.
We have the Nexus R5 Haltech.
Yes.
And we have the HTG transmission control, DCT.
Yep.
DCT.
And then it has Haltech PDM.
Haltech
in the back.
PDM? Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
an external one for the back, and it controls a couple things, the fuel pump, and it has a 4-port can hub in the front.
Oh wow, this car has everything that is out there for it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
All right, it sounds like we're ready to start, you know, building from this up. See what it does. Wait. Now, no fuel, no smoke on the back, right?
No.
All good? All right.
And once we got down there, we had a few small issues. We were having problems controlling our fuel injectors, and we also had problems controlling the throttle bodies.
Dumping a lot of fuel. So I just opted to 1100. Let's see. Oh, you see? Now there's no fuel. No fuel. What injectors do I have? Michael, you're making us suffer.
Me?
Tell me the injectors are new and good.
They're brand new.
They're brand new. Okay, okay, they're brand new. I'm running out of oil. There is no fuel at 1100 cc's. And 1000 cc injector will start at 1100, no problem. Okay? But it only starts if we go down to 300. What are we doing wrong? What are we doing wrong? But I'm gonna put this back to, I don't know, the 350, so the car stays on and we can see the pressure. It's to reach. Now we have no fuel.
Ah, Dios mío.
Wait, it just doesn't make sense.
I mean, I honestly thought it was just the injector information that was off.
It is off, way off. we have no way of knowing nothing about these ones. They look beautiful, but they have no information on them. So
I got those at Jegs.
oh, but we have a part number from Jegs.
Yeah, I have it in my folder.
Yes. All right, that's perfect. That's what we were trying to look for, the part number, but they're all painted and stuff, so you cannot see anything. So that number we need.
Okay.
That we're gonna start with that number. Supposedly that number should give us the calibration that we need to plug in. And as soon as that is under control and the car idles, as soon as the throttles are under control, then we keep going.
We had issues controlling our fuel injectors. We had issues controlling our throttle bodies, and the biggest issue of all was we didn't have control over our transmission. So if you've been following along on this build for any amount of time, you'll know that we're putting a BMW DCT transmission inside of our twin turbo Chevelle. It's not so easy. Not only getting it to fit inside of the body, but controlling it is probably the most important thing. Not too many people make applications to be able to control these transmissions in a standalone form. One of the few companies that are out there, we've chose to use their software and their ECU to control our transmission, but the problem that we're having with our transmission is being able to get support. Support from the company to be able to add new firmware and make changes is unavailable to us at this time. So we have a couple of options. One of them is to change the ECU. The second one would be change the transmission, which is probably the least likely route that we're going to do, because that comes along with a handful of other problems: mounting the transmission, adapting it to the engine, a drive shaft, as well as the gear ratios, and as the electronics as well. So moving to a different ECU control is probably going to be the route that we go. We're not exactly sure what ECU that is going to be to control this. There's options out there, and we want to make sure that we choose the right one. So we're going to take our time and make sure we get the best option for what we're doing, and once that happens, we can move forward into getting the build going. But while we're waiting for that final solution for the transmission, we're going to start working on other parts of the Chevelle, namely the throttle body issue that we were having at the tuners. The injector issue was already ironed out before we had left. We also found some exhaust leaks in the turbocharger system. So we're gonna get those repaired, and hopefully we get this transmission issue resolved in a short amount of time. All right, the next repair we're gonna do on the twin turbo Chevelle are replacing the electronic drive-by-wire throttle bodies. We were having issues when we had the vehicle at the tuner where sporadically one of the throttle bodies would just not be able to hold a steady idle, and it would just start flapping from closed to open just randomly. We did a lot of testing in the wiring, making sure that everything was okay, make sure the ECU wasn't getting the wrong signals, and making sure it wasn't getting any input improperly from any of the other sensors. So after going through all of that, we deemed one of the throttle bodies to not be working properly, so we're gonna replace it. I've got some brand new ones in the box. They just showed up, so we're gonna pull these old ones off. We also have to modify them slightly because we're using a Vibrant HD clamp. We have some new aluminum ferrules to go onto there. We're gonna have Dave weld those on for us, and then we have the brand new in the box AC Delco genuine replacement parts. So we'll get these welded. We also have to paint them, so we'll get all that done and get these back in the car. That's another small fix that we have to do. There was a small exhaust leak right here at our wastegate, so I'm still waiting for our ferrule for the wastegate, and then we can have this back on, and then we'll put everything back together. And the last part of all of it will be the transmission controller. Still waiting on word from HTG, and as soon as we find that out, we'll know which route we're going to be going. But for now, let's get to work on the engine bay. All right, got these things all welded up. They're nice and cooled off after Dave welded these ferrules on here. Went ahead and got some paint coated on them, and now they look just as fresh as the old ones. So these are the older ones that we originally had on the Chevelle, and here are the brand new ones. Got some gaskets that we have to install, and then we can bolt these back on. And we'll have trouble-free operation of these throttle bodies with no more issues. All right, we got everything back together in the engine bay. The exhaust is back on. Our brand new throttle bodies are installed. All the other small leaks and other small things that might give us an issue when we're at the tuner are all fixed up and ready to go. We're still just waiting on the mercy of our transmission control. Hopefully that gets figured out soon, like I said previously. But before we close out the episode, I just wanted to give it a nice start up so everybody can see it running. I really wish we can get this thing driving down the road already, but you know, sometimes you just gotta live at the mercy of the machine. This thing's gonna be so sick when it's done with the DCT, paddle shifters, twin turbo, LSX engine. Excited. Well, that's all, folks. I almost said that. Well, that's it for this episode. I wish it was a little bit more positive, but that's the way it goes sometimes. Hopefully next time you see the car, it'll be driving down the road and everything will be all good with the transmission. So until the next one, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and we'll see you next time.